Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back. So this is gonna be like, I guess, a little mini, little question section here, just to share some thoughts about Metroid Prime 1 before we move on to Metroid Prime 2. And I figured I would just load up a backup save that just puts me on Talon Overworld, and I can roll around as a ball. It is beautiful. It's almost art in motion. It's just, yes, alright, I did it. Life accomplishment achieved. So, one of the first questions I should answer is, why the Wii version? I've mentioned it like several times before through the videos and whatnots, but one of the reasons I wanted to do the Wii version of Primes is you don't really see a lot of the Trilogy Prime Edition. Like, a lot of speedrunners will use the original versions, which makes sense, of Metroid Prime 1 and 2. I'm actually really happy I got up there so easily. Didn't think that was going to work. It's easier to perform like tricks and whatnots in the original versions of the games, obviously. But I think, like, there's definitely pros and cons between the Prime GameCube and Prime Wii version. But I do maintain that I think the Wii version is easier to pick up. It's a little more straightforward, because the control scheme for the GameCube editions of Prime 1 and Prime 2 you have to learn how to play their style of game. If you try to play like, you're like, oh, I've played Halo before, you're like, no, you'll be so confused so fast by what's going on. Plus, a little bit easier for me to go through the Prime games if I play on the Wii version, because then I don't have to worry about switching out games, getting to the correct leads and whatnot hooked up to the reader itself. But not to mention, one of the other reasons I chose the Wii is that the formatting, the setup, like the video, how big the video screen is and whatnot on my TV is set up properly with the Wii. Whereas if I hooked up the GameCube up through it, I would have to change settings to make it at least look correct in the aspect ratio. So, good news there all around. The other question is, why did I attempt 100%? That is because I wanted to. I've mentioned it before, played Randomizer a lot, and I'd actually accomplished a 100% way back in the day with the help of a guide. And then the Randomizer kind of helped me to actually memorize where all these upgrades and things were located. Didn't prevent me from messing it up, because, power bombs and all that. Tricky thing to work with. But still, we did get 100%, and that's all that matters. And it's really, like, I really don't typically go for 100% anything. Super Mario 64 and Metroid Prime 1 are realistically the only ones I've ever actually fully collected everything. Like, I did, like, for instance, like Majora's Mask, like, I got all the masks there to get, like, the good ending, as it were. But I never went around and collected, like, all the heart pieces, stuff like that. So, I just wanted to show, like, yes, I can do this, even if I mess up a tiny little bit and forget 2 of the power-up locations to actually grab when I go through them the first time. Whoopsie daisies. So, other than that, a lot of the other questions I have were actually going to be focused on getting or basically I'm going to compare between each of the versions. And I don't really want to get ahead of myself by being like, oh, here's why this is better than Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Like no, we'll have to go with that. But one of the other questions I guess we should take out of the way is why the Trilogy series in general, why show that off? So, I love this game a lot. Like, I love the Metroid series. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Legend of Zelda series. I love the 3D Mario games. But Metroid's always held a special place in my heart, and that has been... It's genuinely, like, one of my favorite series. Just one of, like... Just, it's a fantastic game, whether you're playing the 2D or the 3D versions. Just... It's like, most of them you pretty much like, you ditch the story, you go for an adventure, pick up stuff along the way. And to be fair, Metroid has... Like, so there's a category of games out there called Metroidvania, which is, specifically, it's games that are based like Metroid and specifically Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where you go around exploring a world, collecting power-ups, and then go backwards to go looking to see where else you can go and get to the next place to defeat the next boss, so on and so forth. I've never liked the term Metroidvania, preferring it to actually just call it Metroid, because Metroid was Metroid before Castlevania was Metroid. That may not make sense if you've never played, like, all the Castlevania games, but if you have, like, you know I'm right. You know that for sure that Castlevania isn't really a Metroidvania game, like most of them aren't. But that will be it. Just a small little episode to tie in before we start Metroid 2. Yes, baby. Like, who knows, I might finish all this and then they'll announce Metroid Prime 4 just in time. You know how this works sometimes. But that will be it. Thanks for being on this journey with me towards 100%. Spoiler alert, we will not be doing... I love this... Sorry, microphone, I'm sorry. But I love this slow motion, like, slowly going down the hill. It's beautiful. That is art. Spoiler alert, though. Not going to be doing 100% for Metroid Prime 2 and 3. I don't know them that well to pick up every single pickup out there in those games. Metroid Prime 1 is just a special case in that regard. But I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.